So DNAe is a development stage diagnostics company focusing on developing a new platform for diagnostics based on next-gen sequencing. So we'll all have heard a lot about sequencing during the COVID pandemic, so we're taking the elements of that, but what we're doing is building the workflow around it to make it really easy to use and to deliver clinically actionable results in a short number of hours. Sure, so I think there's two elements to that. One is we've all, as I said, during the pandemic, we all became experts in PCR and sequencing. So we know that sequencing is already making quite a big impact on clinical care. But the challenges with sequencing is that currently it's a very long and complicated workflow. And what that means is many, many steps required to actually get a result at the end from your sample at the beginning. And sometimes it can take days or even weeks to deliver that. So if you're diagnosed with cancer and you do some typing on your tumour, that might take a couple of weeks to get back to your oncologist so they can decide standard of care or how they're going to treat you. The other side that we're looking at is also on infectious disease, and there the standard of care is typically based on culture, particularly with bloodstream infections, which is our first product. And there the challenge is that culture takes quite a long time to grow the bacteria before you can begin to identify them. So our system really takes the blood sample at the beginning, conducts all the workflow on a single cartridge in the instrument, and delivers a result in a matter of a few hours. So it makes it really simple to use, so it could be used outside of a laboratory setting, but it also is much, much faster. So doctors can make diagnoses much quicker, and particularly in the case of infectious disease, that means that they're prescribing antibiotics much more accurately, much sooner in the disease progression. Sure, so as a development stage company, my role is for all around commercialisation and looking to launch the product. And as we continue in our development, we will continue to hire. So we currently have around 80 people based in London and another 40 in our site in California. And we plan for that to grow quite significantly in the next couple of years. And that's I have to say, it's a really diverse team here in London. I think the last stats that I saw, we had, of those 80 people, we were represented in about 18 different nationalities working here in Scale Space. So yes, we're looking to hire also not just diverse in terms of nationality, but also diversity in terms of talent. So everything from hardware and software engineering all the way through to operations people and support staff. And then in my area, that's people like product managers and business development professionals. I think it's great that we have organisations like Upstream who are bringing together both the plans for growth coming from Imperial College, but also supported by the local authority in Hammersmith and Fulham Council, and really being able to understand both the infrastructure that's required to enable that to happen, but also the wealth of talent that exists in this area. And bringing those two things together to provide a lot of value to businesses like DNAe, who do have a lot of ambitious growth plans and need support, as I say, in terms of infrastructure, so we don't have to do it all ourselves.